Okay, welcome to bonus session number 3 of the List Building Launchpad. I am Eva Palikova. I am your host for today and another day of training. So welcome. I'm so proud of you, especially for those of you who have been doing the work and creating your freebie and growing your email list. I am so happy to be here. So, okay, all right, I'm so excited. Today is our bonus number 3. I'm so excited to be here. Please pop in a link and let me know who's joining, where are you joining from there, link to your website. I want to know what you're up to. Everybody else wants to know what you're up to. So today is a very special session. Okay, by the way, I can't see who's joining because we are streaming from Yardstream because Gina and I could not figure out how to go live from our Facebook phone app. So anyhow, welcome. In just a minute, Gina Stenback is going to be joining me here because today is all about creating a copy that sells. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the 4 secrets that sell in your email, right? You know how to build your email list. You know how to create your freebie. You know how to bring people into your audience. You have learned all that. Now, the next thing is to figure out when you're trying to offer your program, how to exactly do it in a way that converts. She's also going to be talking about the 1 major weapon for impactful sales copy. Super exciting. And what I have to tell you about Gina is this. Gina is somebody I go to for copy. I always look at her stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good, right? I look at her meetups and I'm like, such good headlines, really juicy, good stuff. And that is the reason I invited her, because I want you to get to goodness and I want you to take good notes. So if you're joining live, welcome. If you are watching the replay, make sure you're grabbing a piece of paper and a notepad because you're going to be taking a lot of notes. So before we hop in with Gina, what I want to do is give you a very quick recap of the past few days and what you missed, okay? Let me invite Gina real quick so that she can. Hi, Gina, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh,
can you hear me?
No, I can hear. That would work better, huh? Hi, Gina.
Hi.
Hi,
can you hear
so
me?
good to have you. Yes, I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm super excited to share this juiciness with the ladies today.
I am so excited to have you here. So give me another 5 minutes. I want to give a little bit of a recap and then we're going to dive right in. Okay, so, all right. So welcome to everybody who's joining. Okay, so over the past few days, we have trained you on, how to create your freebie very quickly, how to create a 1-page freebie, because we don't want you stuck in technology. We don't want you stuck in creating stuff for months, right? We want you fast in front of people. We want you to be visible. We want you to teach your heart out every single day so that you can be building that relationship with your audience and you can start bringing people in, closing clients, making sales, and making the difference you want to make. Okay, so we walked you through how to do this very quickly. On day 3 of the Launchpad, we walked you through how to build a very quick landing page. We told you exactly what to put on it, what to put in a thank you page so that you're not wasting your real estate. On day 4, make sure you go to day 4 in the replay page. And Jay, if you wouldn't mind, please pop in a link for the replay so that everybody has this. You have until Wednesday morning to watch all the videos and catch up. Day 4 is super important. I gave you 10 different strategies to build your audience, to build your email list. None of them are free, right? So you can just run with it and make sure that you set your goal to be growing your email list every single month by at least 150 subscribers. And what did we do on Friday? Friday, we were talking about how to nurture your email subscribers, how to deliver a lot of value, how to create content for them really fast. And then we got into the bonuses that are super cool too. On Saturday, we did some Canva training. Yesterday, we did a super cool Q&A session. A lot of really cool and practical questions. So I recommend you review it as you're working on your freebie. And today, I am so excited to have Gina here and be talking about a copy that sells. So excited. So one more thing. Congratulations to 3 new people who have joined my Quantum Leaps community, Christina and Susan and Kylie. I'm so excited for you guys to be able to wrap my arms around you and have your back and work with you to make sure your business is succeeding. So I'm so excited about this. I know I don't know if those 3 are joining me because again, I know they're already digging into all the training videos they have gotten access to and on their way to success. So exciting. So Quantum Leaps is open. Talk to me about it. Send me a message. Schedule a 30-minute session. Let's talk about, is this right for your business? And how would you take this on? What kind of platform would you choose? How would you build your funnel? I want to talk to you. I want to have a conversation about this because I just want to have your head. I just want to have your back. I want you to succeed. So let's jump in with Gina. So Gina is an expert copywriter. She's a marketing strategist, and I have been just blown away. She's also leading It's Her Business in Boulder. So those of you guys who are close to Boulder, you need to come into her meetups because they're amazing. I knew Gina was the right person to lead a meetup group, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just been amazed what she's been doing with it. You need to pop in. She brings in speakers, but better yet, she does some of the training herself, which is even more exciting. I really love that. And wouldn't believe some of the stuff she's done in the past. She got 12,000 feet fitness studio or something. Anyway, Gina, tell us about your background a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first I wanted to just before we dive into my background and copy, I just want to say a few words to the group and about Quantum Leaps. And I just you guys, their value that this program is going to give you is priceless. So hop on it. And let me tell you, I have worked with Eva, and you want her on your side, and she's going to have your back. So I just wanted to say that because it's just an amazing program, and I think they really should jump on it.
Oh, thank you so much, Gina. Thank you so much for that comment. I know there's people that are sitting on the fence. It's going to be painful being on the fence. They're like, I really want to do this, and I don't know that I can spend the money. And I know I've been there. I just invested 5 figures into a program, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so scary, right? It's just, it's so scary. So I totally get it. So thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the encouragement for those who are on the fence. And let's make next year happen for everybody. Let's just
I'm telling you, you guys will get more done in 3 to 6 months that you have in a whole year and a half.
Awesome. Yeah, they will. I would hope even less. Let's get stuff going. The first month, let's blow it out. Okay, so Gina, I want to hear more about your background because it's just amazing the stuff that you have done. The experience that you have.
So I have actually been a serial entrepreneur, and I've been in business for a very, very long time. Well, at least a good 20 years. I'm aging myself, but a lot of my background was in the fitness industry and the health and wellness industry. And where I am today really stemmed from my own pain and frustration in different businesses because of really not knowing what exactly to do, whether it was for lack of having a coach like yourself or just not knowing how to implement certain things at the right time for the right people. And so out of that frustration and combined with experience in marketing in the fitness industry, well before we had Facebook ads and all of that, you had to be good at copy for direct response marketing. So there is, a lot of experience in running those businesses in my background, and then watching my own coaching, holistic health coaching industry business just was not wasn't implementing the right things at the right time. And so out of that frustration and just helping friends and other entrepreneurs, go through their video series, and even before Facebook Lives were a thing. And that's where gotten me to where I am today, fully immersed as a marketing strategist and copywriter.
It's awesome. And I can't stress to you guys enough. Like, I see so much of the copy, and I cannot stress enough how important communicating right with your ideal client is. And having somebody like Gina look at your copy and go through it with you, because we just have all of our blind spots. When we put something out there, it is right. Like, I have people looking at my own copy, because look, like, we all have our blind spots, and you need to make sure whatever you're putting out there is resonating with your ideal client. So you ready to dive into the
I am
training?
so ready. I'm so ready.
Cool. So I have like a high level question for you first, right? I think
Okay.
people are just confused about copy and content and what the difference is, and why is it important to have copy in your content.
Yeah. So this is one of the things that is really just left to the side. Here's what copy is. Okay. Copy is just strategically delivering words that are specific to your audience, but they're strategically delivered in a way that get people to take an action. Okay. So you want your audience, whether they're watching you in a video or reading your content or hopefully opening your emails, which we're going to talk about today, but you want them to take an action. That action could be opening an email. That action could be, getting into your freebie that I know you've been working on this week with Eva. So it can be, and of course, that action can be buying a program or a product. And really, I want to say that all copy is sales copy, because when you're asking somebody to take an action, that really is it. It's a transaction. So even if there's no money exchange, that is a sale, that is a close. And so all copy is sales copy. Now, content, on the other hand, is high value words, educational pieces, much like a lot of what you've been doing this week with the Launchpad. And it's delivered over time. And over time, you get your audience to like really turn into fans, come back, convert them. But if your content lacks copy inside of it, then you'll never get those people to it's one of the main things that copy does is grab attention. So you want your content to grab attention, and then you want them to take action. So every piece of content should have a call to action, and then every piece of content should have some sales copy throughout it. Does that make sense?
It totally does. And it's totally what it ties into what we have been talking about, because it's like you have to show up and deliver value through your content all the time. But if you're not making those offers through the right copy, then like, you have to be doing both all the time. Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's really, really, really good. So, all right, well, let's dive in. I want to know about what it takes. What sort of secrets do you have in your sleeve to help us sell with the copy?
Okay, so I break it down to 4 main secrets. Okay, and so what I want to do real quick is I'm going to go through the 4 secrets.
I just want to jump in. I want to grab a pen and paper, but I want everybody else to be grabbing pen and paper and taking some notes right now. Especially I know a lot of you guys are watching the replay, so be taking some notes, and I want you to be implementing this, okay? Because this is so important. All right, sorry, I had to grab a pen and paper.
Yeah, no, take your time. So then I'm going to go through the 4 secrets real quickly, and then we'll dive into each one in a little bit more in depth. And that way, if you or anybody watching has some questions, we can tackle those right away. So the number 1 secret is emotion. Okay, so we want to evoke emotion. Number 2 is simplicity and brevity together. Number 3 is to be super specific. Number 4 is cut it till it hurts. Okay.
Cut it till it hurts.
So I'm gonna
I like that.
cut it till it hurts, where it's one of my favorites. So number one with evoke emotion. And I know Eva, you teach this as well, but in our copy, we want to use pen pleasure. Okay. Really, any piece of copy that grabs attention is going to trigger an emotion. And the reality, think about it in this way. Your ideal client has a pain story. Okay. Whatever that's going to be. And obviously, they're looking for a solution. They have some sort of pain that needs solved quickly. And you are that solution. But that's their pain story. So they came to you with this. So you want to address that pain and that pain story in your copy. They also, he or she has your story, which is the other side of that pain. So you really want to know, obviously, this goes back to knowing your audience and your ideal client. But I'm assuming that you're here and you're working with Eva, you're going to well versed in that. So you want to address both the pain story and the pleasure story. So that's evoking emotion. Number two, in simplicity and brevity. Today, those two things are not a luxury. They are a necessity. We have so much stuff coming at us that is super, super important that you keep things very simple and brief. Okay. And this means, and I know that you also hammer this in, but this means as entrepreneurs, and especially a lot, we live in here and we are heart centered and we want to help, but we have to discipline ourselves to stick to just one call to action. Okay. When you give multiple calls to actions, multiple options, people get confused. It's just there's too many decisions to make today. And it's you want to keep it one. I know it's a discipline, it's a practice. You want to keep it one call to action because the confused mind always says no. And on top of that, you want to think as your ideal client as your friend. These are your friends that you are truly being and offering a solution. So why would you confuse your friend?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, real quick on this, there's two things. Is also keep in mind when you're writing copy is you're offering all of it to just one audience at a time, at a piece. Mm-hmm. I know this will freak a lot of people out, like, but I can help this person, or I have this avatar or this avatar. You can address them separately in different pieces of copy. Any questions?
Okay, so what you're saying is niche your copy down when you're writing something to just one avatar. Mm-hmm. Okay,
yeah.
got it. Okay, I love the confused mind always says no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one call to action. That's it. Mm-hmm. Per piece.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So number three is be super specific. And what I mean is you want to provide a customer journey, like a buying journey, a customer journey in your copy. You want to tell her or him, you want to tell them, first of all, what's in it for them, addressing either that pain story or that pleasure story. So what's in it for them? Then you also want to start and keep in mind your strongest benefit. What is the biggest solution and benefit in that, what's in it for them? Mm-hmm. You can always expand. We're going to go through some formulas and stuff, but you expand in that benefit using emotion so that they can't ignore it. And then you tell them exactly what happens right after. For example, you're great at this. You always tell people, like, immediately, jump on this, you're going to get this, you're going to, so you tell them exactly mm-hmm. what happens, and then you invite them to that call. So that's in the right. Be super specific. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the last one, tell her hurts. And this is where the practice, yeah, this is where the practice of writing copy comes in. And I'm actually stealing this from like the niche part of marketing, which is niche down till it hurts. but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's the same concept. So basically, you want to eliminate any kind of fluff. And also, I'm going to tell you some of the things that are fluff when it comes to copy. There are places to do a little bit extra, especially if you're doing video. But fluff, like your opinion, okay, not your expertise, your opinion. Your audience does not care about your opinion. Okay. Yes, you have to be authentic and whatever, but there's a difference between teaching and then just going into opinion, which is also kind of in the same line as going off on a tangent. So you want to always stay on point and on topic. Cute language, slang, complex industry jargon that we love to geek out about, as coaches and whatnot. But your audience, they don't care about that. They're coming to you because they don't want to learn the language. They just want to get to to where they're at right now, why they coming to you to where they're going to get, hopefully with your help and your vehicle, your program. But they don't care about that. And then also, I'm going to give you guys, like, you will have these notes and everything that I'm covering, and you will have some stuff to cut out. I think Jay's going to put a link on there for everybody. But other things that are like filler words will be things like absolutely, totally, rather, quite, somehow, like these adjectives and yes, and
Is there
adverbs.
filler words? I love using them. Really?
Cut it out when it comes, especially when it comes to written copy. It's a little different when you're talking. You still want to have copy written for your videos so that you're prepared and you don't go off on a tangent or babble or whatnot. But so you want to have it prepared. It's a little different because your personality is going to come out. That's why video is so powerful. But when you're writing copy, especially sales copy, so when you're writing promos for your lead magnet, when you're writing your sales pages, your about website copy, you want to cut all of that out.
Ouch, ouch.
So those are the 4 secrets.
Okay. Wow. All right. So let me see. And I was trying to post it in the chat. So we got emotion, make sure there's pain and pleasure, right? Simplicity and brevity, super specific, and cut it till it hurts, which is the hardest one for me. Okay, awesome. All right. So what's like the most impactful, your favorite weapon in copy? Tell me about it.
Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. Imagine if you could have the best executive business coach at your fingertips for 12 months. What would that do to your business? Okay. So it goes back to one, which is to evoke emotion. Your job as a copywriter is to trigger a belief. Okay. I mean, trigger a belief. We are dreamers, as we're like wired to dream and want. And so when you trigger a belief, it's golden. And my favorite way is to use the word imagine and to place it strategically throughout your copy. Because when you use that word, you immediately, like, if you kind of put yourself in a position where you're imagining, I don't know, like your eyes, like there's an emotional trigger. Your eyes go up because you're like, there's a feeling that goes with it. And it is a super, super, super simple There are
Mm.
other words that you can use that mean the same thing, but it's really positioning that word in different areas so you can invoke. It's just an easy way to trigger a belief and evoke emotion.
That
So
is
you
so
can say, for
good.
example, imagine you a millionaire, and then your copy about whatever your
Mhm.
program is, or
Mm.
even something like see yourself winning, and then add in that copy. Um, if it's more like I have one that I used for somebody was like turn heads after 50, and it was about a makeover. So about imagining having a team with you and just like in less than a day or whatever, so it's positioning those belief triggering words
Mm.
strategically.
Hmm. And so you work with entrepreneurs, right? So you help them figure out like how to phrase it for them specifically. So like
Yes.
really like for their specific audience, right? Because
Yeah. Yeah.
what I see people
And
doing is trying to do that,
mhm.
but not quite like hitting what's actually important to the other side. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the thing, though. It's really important to know who you're marketing to and who your audience is. So whether it's content and or copy or both, it's really, really, that's a piece that's really big now as you have a little bit more time under your belt under your business. You know your audience and your ideal clients better, and it becomes a little bit easier. But it's definitely key to know exactly who you're talking to, and then of course you do it in voice and words that are that she he are going to really relate to and understand. And I want to say real quick, if you are a copywriter or content marketer, or
Like
even a
Gina.
marketing strategist, like one of the things that is super important is we spend time learning your voice. Okay. So we're going to hire somebody, whether it's me or anybody else, that they take time to learn your voice and your business, because that's now some people can do it really quickly. Like for me, it's very easy to write copy for other people. Session, I will know your business, your voice, your audience, uh, but it's really talking to the right people, because otherwise it just goes to nowhere.
Right, right, right.
Mm-hmm.
I just love this. I just love this possibility. It's like, right, get them to imagine the
Yeah.
possibility of what's possible.
Yes.
Right. It's so, so, so important
Mm-hmm.
because people are stuck with it.
Potential,
Right. Yeah, and
yeah.
it's important in life too, because as long as we're stuck in the why this won't work and yada yada yada, we don't get anywhere. Right. So you're actually doing a service to the other
Mm-hmm.
person. You're not just selling, you guys, right? If you're coaches, consultants, service providers, you're not just selling, you're inspiring people. And your job is to do that, to put them in the frequency to get
Mm-hmm.
results. Right. So it's like the
Right.
copy is
Right.
like you're always doing that for them. And that's your job. Cool. All right. Let's see. Okay. So I have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is like the most important thing, like when somebody's starting out with copy and they're just like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, there's so many rules and this and that. What is like the most important thing in copywriting? If they could only get good at one simple thing to take on
Mm-hmm.
today with copy, what would that be?
Yes. Okay. So this has in it, this is 80% at least. I would say more, but it's at least 80% of your success with your copy. Okay. So this is really important when it comes to any type of sales material or ad. And it's also important with your emails, which is you guys have been learning this whole week and like how to grow your list. You're going to be nurturing that list with emails, first with a nurture sequence, when they first onboard into your list, and then ongoing with high value content. Well, so 80% of your success relies on your headline or
Mm.
subject, whether it's so your headline or subject or title, if it's an article, like if it's a blog article. So you want to think about 8 out of 10 people will read your headline.
Mm.
Only 2 out of those 10 will read the rest. So the headlines is the most crucial thing if you're going to only get good at one. And I want to spend a little bit of time in here with this. And then also that gift that I am giving you guys at the end of it, it has templates that will help you craft at least 27 headlines. Okay. And the other thing that's cool about that is like when you take some time to work on these headlines, it'll actually help you come up with content too later on. Okay. But one of the things is like, so your headline has two purposes. The first one is to grab attention. So you want people to like read it and be like, oh, I need to read this. Okay. And the other thing that it has is to get the person to read the next line. In the case of an email, is to get the person to read in the email. And when you think about your writing, remember how I talk about putting copy into your content? The first few lines of your content should be almost like a headline because you want them to read the next line or the next line. Does that make sense?
Totally. So it's the headline / the subject line, but also how you kick off the start of the email
How
or
you
whatever
kick
you're
off.
writing.
Right. A good formula is, and there's different formulas for different things. And I've added these in there so that you can kind of practice and all of that. But for example, a headline or a subject line in an email can start out with addressing the problem. All right. So you identify the problem. Maybe for your clients, it might be like they're stuck and they're not getting enough clients, or their business is in a place that it just needs to grow or else, so you want to identify the problem. Then the subheadline, like the next one, will be to talk about the solution and that strongest benefit, that like what's in it for them. And then if you want to think like the next line, you expand on the solution with emotion so they can't ignore it, that like it just hits like, oh, I gotta continue to read, and then from there you put in your value, add your CTA, making sure that that's nice and clear and concise. And after you have them with all of that emotion, they know they have a problem, they want the solution. It's going to hurt like hell if they don't get the solution. And, and then
Okay. So does your handbook have some of examples like to show people how that looks like in real life?
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I have in there, we have formulas. So I have formulas. Another thing is, please, with just like with any type of anything in copy, keep your headlines simple and clear. Mm-hmm. This is not the place to get cute. Yeah. You have a lot of time. Once you have people in your list, in your audience, you have all kinds of time to get a little bit cute and show a lot more personality and all that. But when you're trying to grab that attention, just keep it simple and clear. So here's a formula. For example, here's some formulas for emails. And I like to use these for inspiration and put some, you can use formulas, but always keep in mind that your readers are not robots, they're people. So you don't want to just stick to formulas. That's why I have formulas at first. And then at the end, I have all these templates that they can really plug and play. And there's all kinds of, like I said, there's at least 27. But for example, inspiration formulas are, you have problem plus solution times emotion. Okay. Something like that would be, imagine running without hip pain in just 3 weeks. You can also do like the end result that they want, plus like a time period, and then you can address the objection. So it would be, for example, and you do this in all of your programs, like how to make a landing page by tonight with zero tech experience. Okay, so by tonight is that time, like, oh, I need this now. zero tech experience is like, I don't have a tech experience. You don't need it. Make a landing page by tonight with zero tech experience or tech, not tech know-how. The other one would be like take this action, a specific time period. This is like a call to action copy headline, plus an end result. Okay. Book 1 hour with me and I'll help you write copy that sells.
That's good.
Yeah.
That should go.
Then,
Can I? Whenever you're done, I have some questions.
Okay. Let's go through questions. There's a few things that I'll come up like, to see here. When you're coming up with a good way to come up with headlines is like, let's cover questions first, because this is something that they can read on and we can talk about it if there's time.
Yeah. So you gave me some ideas here, but what's like a good freebie titles? And I covered a few, but I feel like you have some better ideas because some people are still struggling for the title of their freebies.
Absolutely. So one of the I like things that are really good. I mean, unless it's like a solution. So for example, like I have one of my freebies is the Copy That Sells ebook. Okay. So that is a copy that sells. There's a solution to it. You have, I like to come up with like headlines and titles for things too. Numbers are powerful when it comes to coming up with something that is, very simple and like straightforward and like something that really people really need. So you can take, for example, 3 to 5 and think about the solutions that you provide and the main solution. And hopefully your freebie is going to give them, it has to give them, it's simple and small, but it gives them something of value. So what is that one thing that your freebie gives them? Okay. Is it the 5 things you need to do 5 things you need to know to get rid of pain?
Yes, that's good.
That's like you getting rid of pain is the solution. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
The 3 things you can do today to run without knee pain in your next 5K or whatever. You don't have to be like, as long as the biggest thing is to take that one solution and benefit, that one what's in it for them. I recommend, aside, so we're using the pain example, but I recommend going with the pain story as much as you can versus the pleasure story, because you want to use both. But we as humans in general are much more likely to take an action to move away from pain or yucky stuff than we are to move towards pleasure. Believe it or not, it's just the way that we're wired.
Right. So you recommend they focus on the pain points in their freebie title versus the pleasure.
I think it also is going to depend on your audience. If you have an audience that is really sensitive and they're looking more for like a, say if you're a spiritual coach or a healer and your audience is really, really, really sensitive and they are really more, they respond better to pleasure than pain, then you can tweak that. But even if you're talking to a spiritual coach or a healer and you are, for example, you help them with their business, then their pain is really has. But if you're a healer and you're a coach and you're talking to, am I making sense there? So you can use both as long as you really tell them what's in it for them. There's a few ways to like come up with titles. The first one was a brain dump, and I would just pick your biggest benefit that they're getting, that it also ties to your program. It doesn't necessarily have to be just your freebie, but you want to include what your freebie fixes. But if you can infuse something of what else is next in your journey, in your customer journey, you can do that. One other way to do it is you can, this goes back to really knowing your audience, but You can write your headlines through your reader's eyes, their lens. And I like to consider, like, there's three ones that I consider. There's a competitive edge, there's like a logical driven, and an inspirational. And say, for example, if you're talking to like type A, more masculine, slightly aggressive, strong personality, you maybe would use something like, there can only be one winning team. What team do you want to be on? That's something that would speak to, it would speak to somebody like me for sure. you
Really?
know um yeah. So you just, you can say something like this, like, let me read my example here. There can only be one winning team. Which team are you on? Dominate the search engines, leave page 2 for your competition.
Interesting.
So that's a competitive edge. Like, you
Yeah.
can use how, and you see, if you are if you're very logic driven, you want to be more analytical, methodical. These are left brains personalities. Number, statistics, and facts work really well, like 80% faster than any other hosting platform.
Mm.
Using
Mhm.
heat map for my webpage instantly lets me know what's working and what's not. So, and then last is the, like, inspired. If you can use a more inspirational.
Mhm.
If you're talking to people who are a little bit more visual, more kinesthetic, they thrive on possibilities. Uh, and yeah, you can do, like, you can write headlines like a pro with copy that sells, or get the job of your dreams delivered right into your inbox. So that talks a little bit more about possibilities. I mean, those will work for anybody, but which lens does your client or your audience have?
Mm.
Are they more of a competitive lens? People who are in sales and business usually are in that side. Are they a little bit more logical driven? Do they respond to facts, left brain, or are they more inspired by possibility and feelings? So
This
that's
is
another good way to come up. Mm-hmm.
this is so brilliant. I was just like, oh my gosh, I wish I had time to write like all the brilliant examples you put in there. So does your handbook have some of those in there? Like the
It
competitive
has them
logic
all.
lens?
It has, yeah, it has them. Mm-hmm.
It's just like how is this like
Yeah.
brilliant title? It's just like pop out of your head. I'm like, what? Amazing. Okay, cool. Awesome.
I will say that it just, it's just, anybody can do it. And I like to look at copywriting as, it's not even really writing. I mean, yes, you're writing, but it's like, because you can use it for videos and audio as well. But it's more about assembling words.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like word assembling, and anybody can do it. It just takes some practice and a little bit of art, and just practice, and really knowing the market really well, and what works and what not works. Once you have formulas and templates and you use them a bunch of time, it becomes a little bit easier. And then, of course, just like with anything else, with copy, you want to test and split test and figure out what works and what not, and what's not working. And that will come with a little bit after time. And like you said at the beginning, just having, we all have our blind spots, and having a different set of eyes to look at, like, sales copy helps. Like, even for me, it's easier for me to write
Yeah.
to write clients than it is for my own business.
Oh yeah, for sure. For me
Yeah.
too. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the truth for
And
everybody.
yeah, and so this has, there's 10 personal headlines for email subject lines in the book, templates, so you can come up with all sorts of different. So, like I said, it has, I think, 27 at least. Yeah, because one has 7, two have 10, but that's just one. You try out one. If you want to try out different combinations in this, it gives you multiple things that you can come up with headlines, and it'll help you come up with content later on.
I do have a quick question. Does this work for Facebook ads as well, your templates?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because those are the hardest.
And when it comes to, yeah, and I have a quick thing for when you're writing ads. One thing to keep in mind, hold on, I want to make sure I got, okay, so when it comes to ads, okay, which would be like Facebook ads, you want to keep in mind, here's two things. First, a headline. And that big headline is really super important, that it addresses that big problem, big pain, or huge solution, depending on which one you're going to go with. For a Facebook ad, I would definitely go with the pain and the problem first. And immediately on the copy or the headline or the sub headlines, you can address the solution. And then a relevant image, whether you're going to use a video or an image, you want you want your big headline, which immediately just like, oh, I need to check this out. And then a relevant image that is kind of like, relevant to it. And then obviously the body of the copy of the ad.
Awesome. And you should still go with, okay, the copy styles, right? The competitive, agile, logical, and inspiration, be very, very clear about how you want to write it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add, Gina?
Just that, your words matter when it comes to promoting your business and your work and your brilliance. And that's just also like, you want to think about, because I know I'm hammering a lot of like very practical, technical, and even like pain-inducing things that might not sound like a lot of fun. Especially if you're catered to some more sensitive crowd and coaches. It just works. And just think about like, none of this, just like sales and having sales conversations, is really not about you. It's about your clients and the people who you're going to help. So sales copy is basically just all about that. So it's really not about you. It's all about them. It matters if you want this if you want to have a successful business and be able to make the impact that you're here to do. So don't think of copy as an afterthought, because it's important in everything that you do. It's just like how you present yourself for your business. It's like it goes hand in hand. So that's just what I wanted to say. Like, don't think that you're going to hurt people by addressing the pain. You're actually telling them that you understand their pain.
Totally.
And then don't think that it's like, oh, this is just too businessy, too practical, not for me. It's for you because you're able to use sale to sell. Even as you do your sales conversations, which Eva has a ton of good, awesome stuff in there, you're using copy in that conversation. So it's all about them. And for you to make that impact and help them, you need to invoke all of those and forget about you. It's about them.
Yeah, I think you just highlighted something really important. It's like, for us, the mind gets in. It's like, am I sounding weird? Am I sounding like a fraud? Am I sounding like a total salesperson, marketing, whatever? And, in some cases, like you see some of that. That's just like so inauthentic out there, for sure, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to, anyway. But yeah, you guys, if we want to make a difference, you want to stand for people to have a different life, to have a different outcome, then you have to consider that you have to be speaking to their pain points, and you have to be speaking to what they want. So I just love this. Gina, a question for you. I know a lot of people, some people want to do their own copy, and they want to take this on, and they want to learn, and they want to take your handbook and learn the 27 different headlines, which is awesome. And Jay and I are definitely going studying. But there's people who just do not want to do this themselves, and they really want somebody else to do it for them. Like, they want a sales page, they want to they want somebody to do their about page on their website, or they want to write their first Facebook ad or whatever, or set a Facebook ad, how do they work with you?
Mm-hmm.
How do they get hold of you?
Well, really easy. So the first thing you can do is, once you opt in to get this book, you'll be on my list, and I will be bugging you with nurture sequences and with high value content. You can always put a comment underneath the Facebook group, like, Gina, can we, PM me? You can always message me, and I'm here to help. If you are in the It's Her Business Facebook group, the big global Facebook group, you can tag me in there. I'm I'm in there. We're all part of that same It's Her Business, even though I do have the Boulder chapter. And finally, if you guys are interested, and I gave the links to Jay to post and everything, for this group throughout the month of November, I was already doing a very discounted offer for the holidays on my website copy review. And for this group, today through November, I'm even doing it at a higher discount of 50%. And really what you get with this is we'll sit down and go through your copy. And if you don't have a site and you just want me to look at the copy for your lead magnet or for your nurture sequence, I'll meet you wherever you're at this point. So you can get the link from there too as well.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Gina. That's really, really clear. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope everybody's taking this on. We're in a business building mode. I know it's Thanksgiving, but we don't care because we want you to finish your year strong. It was such a business building blast. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about everybody who's on board and joining Quantum Leaps, and it's just been such a blast. So I just want to say thank you, Gina. Thank you for coming, and we're gonna have you back, right? I know we have Gina's schedule when I delivered my baby. She's coming in. She's going to be training you guys and teaching you guys. So you're gonna get more goodness in the future. All right. Well, thank you, Gina, so much. I just want to
You're welcome.
I just want to do a couple more recap and next steps for everybody. So all right, so let's see. Gina, thank you. All right, everybody else. I just want to close this with like a strategic piece, okay? So again, right? People are overcomplicating marketing. There is 3 things that go into marketing. Grow your audience. You've got to bring people into your audience. If you are spending time and you are going different 5 meetups a week and being in, right, like whatever you're doing, and that's okay. You can pick up some clients here and there. But if you want to actually take your business to the next level and double and triple and quadruple your income, which I know you can do, you've got to be focusing on building your own audience, right? Email list and platform. We talked about this all the time. Number 2, nurture and deliver value, right? Content is what we talked about, and we have been talking about this over and over. So you got to show up, and I'll tell you guys, like, this has been my week of showing up consistently, like every single day. I come here and I teach, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome, right? And you guys are getting a lot of value. I'm teaching my heart out, and right, it's like it does. Like, I'm so excited to be welcoming some of you guys into my family, into my program, and this stuff works. And you can do this in your business. You just need to show up and deliver value all the time, right? And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. You can show up like a couple of times a week on Facebook Live, or do a meetup once a week, or whatever you're doing, and let's figure this out together. And number 3 is making offers and taking what Gina taught you today and using the copy that sells formulas to be making your offers. Yesterday, we were talking about this. Somebody asked, what's the right balance of content versus copy, right? What's the value versus offers, if you want to put it that way? So 75% value, 25% offers. Okay, and that's okay, right? Don't burn your audience with 80% offers and very little value, right? So, and that applies to any kind of marketing. If you're doing direct messaging campaigns, always be focusing 75% on delivering value, right? If you're doing right? Like pop it into different groups. Like I've seen like people just like come into our group and they just want to sell something and they deliver value. I'm never going to approve those posts. You know what I mean? Because they're not delivering value, right? So you're going to be 75% delivering value, 25% making offers. But so again, right? Again, number one, grow your audience. Number two, nurture, deliver value. Number three, make offers that sell. So things are important. Consistency, visibility, right? Being consistent and not going like, okay, I'm going to do this for 2 weeks and then drop off for 6 months. And trust me, I've done that. And trust me, it doesn't work because then you're back in business rebuilding. And it just takes so much time and effort. So don't do that. Stay consistent, stay visible. By the way, Quantum Leaps and working with me, like we do that for you, right? We make sure we have weekly accountability check-ins when we hold you accountable to making sure you're showing up consistently the entire year in front of your new built audience and you're delivering value. Okay, so registration closes tomorrow night, right? And a lot of people are going, okay, like this program is not right for me. I want to work VIP with Eva, and that's totally okay. Let's work it out. But you need to come in and talk to me. Let's have a 20-minute conversation about what you're building. Let's hash out a plan. Let's build a strategy about what your platform is going to be, how you're going to bring people into your audience, how you're going to nurture them. I want to feel comfortable that I can help you, right? I want to know that, right, this is right for both of us too, right? So schedule that session with me. I think Jay is going to pop in a link. I'm so excited. It closes tomorrow night. By the way, we're not stopping teaching here, okay? Tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing a screen sharing session on building your landing pages in Kajabi. You can use the same that I'm going to be showing you for any other system that you're using. And Wednesday, we are back on with Visibility Bootcamp Show. Every Wednesday, I deliver you a training every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. This week, I decided to focus on personal branding, which is going to be a super fun topic. Yay, personal branding. And it's one of those topics that I just don't want people just spending a ton of time with, right? I want branding to be just something you check off the list and move on. Because this is where people spend a ton of money and ton of time that they don't need to be spending. I want you to check it off your list, figure out what your brand is, figure out what your colors are, move on, okay? Because your time should be spending on those three things we just went through, right? Growing audience, nurturing, making offers, right? That should be most of your marketing effort, not nauseating over what's my brand colors, what's my logo, what does my website look like. That should just check and move on. So I want to get that covered just in this week. So Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And for those of you in Colorado Springs, we're going to be talking about video tonight. For those of you who are just like terrified of getting on video, and I was one of those people, quite frankly. I was one of those people who was so shy, I can't even tell you. If you have that problem, then definitely show up in Colorado Springs for tonight's workshop. I can't wait to see you there. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the replays. Make sure you catch up on all the trainings of this week. They're going to be available till Wednesday morning. So make sure you schedule some time to get this done. And I will see you tomorrow back at 6 p.m. Today was the only exception because I'm teaching tonight in the Springs. So tomorrow back at 6 p.m. and Wednesday as well for the regular Visibility Bootcamp show. All right. I love you guys. Thank you, Gina, for showing up and delivering awesome value. I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. That's all I got.